friends, it is Tuesdays with Tonya. I'm Tonya here with My County Link, and today I'm out here at the Great Dark County Fairgrounds, and I'm here with Senior Fairboard Member Marla Werner. Now, she has got some great news and some wonderful information that she's going to share to us on how our fair is going to be a little bit more handicap accessible and where they're starting with those things and some of the other things that they're adding into the fairgrounds. So we're going to turn around, we're going to talk to her, and she's going to walk us through some of this, and we're going to talk about it. Hello, Miss Marla.
Hi, Tonya.
How are you today?
I'm great.
Good. So I'm so thankful that you brought me out here to show us, because until we really knew there was a need, I'll say, and as needs arise, the fair has always been great about trying to meet those needs of everybody, because we want everyone to come to our fair and have a great time. So tell us how this project that you're working on got started.
Well, you know, we take for granted that everybody can just walk around and push strollers through gravel and all of that. And in 2023, our junior fair queen, she happened to be in a wheelchair. So it presented us with a whole different set of circumstances. She's a trooper. She was the one that actually brought this forward. She was the one that says, you know, I'm in this wheelchair and I'm going to get around, but I want to make sure that everybody that comes to this fair can get in everywhere. So at the beginning of the fair, we decided that we were going to do a campaign. She did. She came to me and I supported her. We're going to do Fair for All. So we decided that during the fair, I wanted her to go around and wanted her to look at those areas where it could need improvement for people to have more inclusiveness at our fair. So after the fair, we were struggling on who to talk to, and so we were hooked up with Tonya at Dark DD. She's their director out there, and Susan, and we sat down with them and said, okay, what are some of those things? And Elizabeth had a list a mile long. We said, okay, we need to narrow it down. Where do we start? So this is where we're starting, where I'm standing. Right. We decided that we needed to be able to get people into the barns safely. And so we started with, what if we paved sidewalks into the sheep barn, the goat barn? Those are two of the biggest things that she really struggled getting her wheelchair in. Right.
So we're talking about maybe doing this area here of the sheep.
Yes.
And then some down the sides here.
Between them.
So they can get from one ring to the next.
Correct.
And this will help all people that have any type of accessibility with wheels, like you said, strollers, scooters,
walkers,
wheelchairs, all those things.
Yes.
Yes. And then we'll come down here and it'll go from the goat barn. And then we have the rabbit barn area.
Yes. So we'll come behind the rabbit barn. It'll go up to the barn so that as you go in that end of the barn. The other end is okay, but it does have a little bit of a lip. And so it's not as safe. So when we look at slip, strips, and falls, that's what we're trying to avoid for everybody. Mm-hmm. And by doing this project and be able to blacktop all of this, where you have ease of access into all of these buildings, now we've made them inclusive.
That's awesome. I think that's awesome that the fair is doing that. So kudos to the Senior Fair Board for not only taking on this challenge, but listening to the needs of people. So we're excited about that. So we're going to talk a little bit about how this is going to take place, because you applied for a grant, correct? Yeah.
So the next thing is we met as a group. You know, Elizabeth was like, well, how are we going to do this? And we said, well, it depends on how much money we get. So we had started to form some marketing plans on how we could go out and ask the community to help support this project with donations and maybe just help physical labor. And Tonya at Dark DD says, you know what, there's a grant coming up. We may be able to apply for this grant. So she looked at the language and she says, yes, what we're wanting to do will fit within the terms of the grant. We applied. I know that there's other areas in the county. She actually applied for over $500,000 worth of money that's going through across the county. The fair was able to obtain about $115,000 of that for this project.
That's awesome.
So we've kind of fast forwarded to where we are now. Now we need people to help us get the work done. Sure. So we've been out getting estimates. Are we within our budget? Because we kind of ballparked our figures.
Sure.
But we've done a pretty good job, because I'm going to be able to get the blacktop done within our budget. So that's already going to be done. Hopefully we can get on their schedule. We'd really love to have this done before the 2024 fair.
That would be great.
And then the other part of the project, again, we have many, but we're going to focus on this, and then we were going to focus on the Red Cross building. Has been there for many years, and they vacated it a couple years ago. So last year we used it with a adult changing table that we borrowed from Dark DD. Mm-hmm. So this year we decided that what if we turned the Red Cross building into a sensory friendly room? Full-time. We also house the adult changing table in there. So the grant is going to buy us a adult changing table. It will belong to the Dark County Ag Society. It will be housed there permanently. It will be available to use for any event that's on the fairgrounds all year, not just during the fair.
Because that's another need.
It is.
That when people come to the fair, they need a place. For some people that need that for the changing services, for, like you said, the sensory room, we need that place. So that's going to be another opportunity. Paved area here that's going to be able to go up into the Red Cross. So Miss Marla, walk us through this.
Okay, so like you said, we're going to get this paved part of that. That way we have good access in. As you can see, it's not the best shape right now. So that will be mitigated. And then as you come inside, because most people probably recognize the building.
Right.
So
It's right here by the grandstands.
Yes.
And it's like you said, it's where we vote.
Yes, where you vote. And as you come inside, we've already done a lot of the demolition. Now, the Greenville CTC carpentry class has done this so far. They've been the ones that they've gutted this room. So it had a petition wall, and then it had some cabinets and sinks. And so they went ahead and we decided to gut the whole building and start over. And that's what they have done. So they've done a fabulous job of getting it cleaned up. And now they're doing the interior studding of the walls. And as you can see, most of it is done on this side. Over here, so let me just walk through how the room will be laid out. There's going to be another petition wall that will run here, clear across, and there'll be a door entering this space. This is the space that the adult changing table will be in. So with this wall, it'll provide privacy. There will be a sink here as well, so they will have everything they will need to clean up. And then on the other side, we're going to have a small office space on this end of where this petition wall will be.
Okay, so you'll have a little office area back here, space, and then out
the
here.
Adult changing table. That will have a door, it'll be secured. And then this area out here is going to be then the open space for the sensory friendly area. So we are working with the Versailles interior design class, and we've challenged them with coming up with ideas on how would we want to design a sensory friendly space. So they are working in groups. They're going to come together with designs and ideas. They're going to present them to us. There's a group of us, and we're going to get to see what their ideas are.
And how great to include the younger generation in this. So
yes.
Not only is there skill sets being taught and learned, but then there's also thinking maybe outside of the box of what they would normally be thinking in a certain classroom and so forth. This kind of extends that a little bit more.
Yes.
Oh, that is great. So this is all in hopes to be done for this fair is the goal.
Yes.
Okay.
So, and in this room too, there we have restrooms that are entered from the other space. So what we're going to do, this restroom that you can see back here will actually, we're going to put a door here, and we'll be able to access the restroom from this space.
Yes.
Also, and we are going to make it, I want to say compliant handicap, but it will have a wider door so that people will be able to get into that space depending on what their situation is. So we decided on making this open to that space.
That is awesome.
Yes.
What a great, I mean, my goodness, what a great project to be added. Not only added to our fair, but what that's going to do for the people who come and visit our fair and so forth. So is there anything else you would like to add about this? I just want to say, we've got some local businesses that are helping with this. So because this is, more for, our, with the grant money and the kids trying to drive this and trying to keep the cost affordable, we've had Broomball Construction is helping mentor the kids. They're working with us on the designs, where Moats have done drawings for us so that we can make sure we're doing it and we're compliant with everything. And if we have questions, they're there to answer them. And then we also, Bender Electric, they are our contracted electrician for the fair, but he has agreed to do this project for just materials to help out in support of what we're doing. So we can't thank those folks enough for this. And which is what I love about Dark Countyans, right?
Yes.
We all come together and help each other out when we need to. And what a great project for people to get around and support. So if the community would like to support this in any way, would they just reach out to you at the Fair Board, or would they just reach out to the office? Yeah,
they could reach out to me, or Laura can put them in touch with me. Because we're also going to look for, and as we move this forward, there's going to be a point where when it comes time for it to be used, especially during the fair, who are those folks that might want to be included in this? We would like to have and offer sensory-friendly bags where if you do have children or those that have special needs, come in, see what we have going on, come in here. It's going to be a heat or cooled area. So it's going to be a nice, quiet space. But we're also going to have those other tools for those folks that maybe need to take a break. Okay, what are those things that we have in this room that you can take with you? Come and see us, come see what we're about. And the other thing about the adult changing table, you had mentioned earlier about, there's that group of usually adults that need that table. But I noticed that last year we had one borrowed, and I happened to pass a woman leaving the space carrying a child. Now, this was a child who was probably over the age of 6 or 7, who was not mobile. And so she had to carry him to change him. So when we're thinking adults, it's not just adults, it's some of these other challenged, young adults and children. And it's really helpful. And I remember the look on her face, and she says, "Thank you so much. This made this so much easier." Because you just assume they're going to use the baby changing tables in the restrooms, and it doesn't work. And they end up laying them on the floor somewhere. So this is really, it's just a multifaceted, place for so many people. And so when we talk about inclusion, that's what we want to do. This is the start of inclusion, and for county fairs. And, hopefully people who maybe would have thought, "I can't go. I got too many needs that need to be met." And we're hoping we can meet those needs, and they'll come to the fair and they can enjoy everything that we do have to offer.